I thought I was all tooled up and ready to start building the bench, and I am, except it dawned on me I was going to have a lot of planing to do to build this bench, and I wasn't all that happy with the way these knives were performing. I was getting kind of a rough surface, a lot of extra sanding, a little bit of tear out, and Kenny told me, and Dave Van Slyke agreed, that if I got a helical carbide cutter head in this little machine, I'd be a lot happier. So I reached out to Byrd Tools experts, and they said, yeah, we have those things. And I told them about the channel, and they said, yeah, we'll send you one. So thank you very much, guys. I've been on YouTube looking at all the instructions. There are some great how-tos in there about how to put this in. So I'm gonna put this in, but before we do that, I'm gonna run a test with a 5-inch wide piece of white oak with the existing knives, and then when it's done, once this is in place, I'll run the same test with the new cutters and let you decide which finish, which level of noise, which rate of feed, which depth of cut adds up to the best solution. Here we go. I'm going to start with a 1/16 of an inch cut if it'll do it. No problem. I can feel a couple ridges in there from nicks in the knife. It's just, you know, I would have to hit that with a 120 and then 220. No tear out. Took the 1/16 of an inch, no problem. Let's try 3/32. We got about the same feel on the finish. I could hear it working a little harder. No appreciable change. And the noise level was, I think, about the same. All right, let's take 1/8 of an inch and see how we do. Noise level remains the same. Might be a little smoother with a heavier cut. It also could be my imagination. But that's about all that I'm ever going to need to cut. 5-inch board, not bad. It must know the camera's running. We're going to put the head in there and see how it does with a different cutter on the same board. Just a couple more things on the install. If you have any mechanical ability at all, if you ever work on your own automobile, you're not going to have any trouble putting the cutter head in. But you have to pay attention, and it is fussy. The advantage is Byrd Tool Experts is standing by on the phone to answer your questions, and they can recommend the right videos on YouTube for the straight information. There's a lot of good ones, and so you're going to see guys do this with different levels of expertise. Don't be afraid. But when you're taking out the stop that DeWalt has in place to hold the straight knife cutter head in place, be careful when you're unloosening the Phillips screws, because they have them Loctited in, and if you cam those things out, it's going to be a real problem. I'm always nervous when I order something online and it shows up in the mail and I'm expected to put it into a machine that I already own. There always seems to be something in there that is counterintuitive, that bites me. And that's the advantage with Byrd Tool Experts. Not only are they standing by on the phone, but when you call them up and talk to somebody, they really know what you're looking at, and they really know how to solve the problem that you're not dealing with successfully. That happened to me when I called them up and said, hey, why does this shiv not have clearance when I put it back together? And he said, because you left a spacer on the end of the old cutter head when you took it out and put it in the box. And I checked, and sure enough, he was right. That makes these guys the absolute best alternative for something like this as far as I'm concerned. All right, it's time for the test. This is the board that we ran through with the straight knives. This is the board, same width, same material. We're going to take an 1/8 inch cut off and test for two things. We're looking for the difference in the volume, and I can tell you already it's going to be way better. And we're looking for the difference in the cut. I can tell you already on that it's going to be way better. But watch this. Here's the result. Same width board, same material, same depth of cut. New Shelix helical head versus somewhat used straight knives from DeWalt. Hands down, the Shelix is better. First gain, reduced sound. We went from 118 decibels to 103, and that's a significant drop. It doesn't hurt your ears, and you can carry on a conversation, you know, if you don't have your earplugs in. That's a huge win. Whether you're a pro or a do-it-yourselfer, less noise in the shop is just a plus. The cut is better. So there's one little ridge in here. It's plenty sandable. Let's see if I can show it to you. And I tinkered with those bits once and got it better. And there were two other lines like this that are now gone. So I think as I get more familiar with making the adjustments, that'll go away. And if it doesn't, 100 grit sandpaper will make that go away. So I think that this, or one of the bits on each side of this, are the ones that are creating that little line. I put that mark on there earlier because I tried to adjust it down, and I did it over here also. These two bits I adjusted and the line disappeared. But my point is that it's a good idea to give yourself a reference if you start that game. All in all, I think this is a cost-effective, money-saving, eardrum-saving, frustration-saving miracle. Third item, the planer did not seem to be bogging down as much. Now, you're right, new cutters, but I can change them 4 times. There are 4 blade changes in here because of the nature of the bit. So, final analysis, just in terms of saving money, huge plus. In terms of saving your ears, an even bigger plus, and you're going to get a nice product in your shop. I want to thank Byrd Tool Experts for sending this to me. I'm probably going to take a run at them on another planer that I've just picked up. We'll show you that in a future video. But in the meantime, I've got a bench to continue to build. I've got the material broken out, and it's time to start putting a nice finish at a good rate of speed and at a manageable level of noise on the white oak for that bench. Thanks for watching Essential Craftsman, and keep up the good work.